It's time for At Home with the RubberDucks, powered by First Energy. 640 WHLO gets you closer to your hometown team with stories of the game and updates from the season ahead.
Line to left center, that's a base hit and a game winner for the Akron RubberDucks.
Akron RubberDucks baseball, affordable family fun.
High drive to right, that's well hit, back, that ball is gone, it's a home run.
Here's your hosts, Marco LaNave and Jim Clark.
Welcome into the opening weekend edition of At Home with the RubberDucks. It's the Major League Baseball opening weekend. Of course, the minor league season, though, has been canceled, so it's a little bit of a strange feeling. And I'm Marco LaNave, joined by my partner, Jim Clark. And Jim, certainly good to see Major League Baseball back in what has been a pretty unique summer.
It's been one I hope we never have to go through again. But there's all the excitement, but there's an emptiness knowing that there's no minor league baseball.
Well, one of the questions we're going to answer on this show is what does baseball look like for a few of those players who would have been playing on the fields of various minor league affiliates in the Indians organization this summer? And Jim, you got to have a fun conversation, getting a look inside what that summer camp or that taxi squad location is going to be.
Talked with Tony Mansolino, the Akron manager, back in 2018, and Tony's working with the infielders at Lake County, so he's got Yu Chang, Bobby Bradley, Arroyo, Clement, and he's part of that staff, and he gives us a very insightful look, talks about the players. You know, Tony, a great manager, 4 years in the Indian chain, a .569 winning percentage, 3 championships, kind of like David Wallace, a guy you think, he's climbing the ladder, but Tony wanted more time at home, so he's going this route, but he's great for the organization.
And really, this evolving picture over at Lake County, the alternate site, really kind of a unique setup. Of course, it started with only a few players as the Indians had most of their players at Progressive Field, and now that dynamic is going to evolve a little bit as the season gets going for the Indians at Progressive Field, and as they travel, those guys at Lake County are kind of the reserve squad.
It's tough on those guys, as Tony will talk about, because their workouts will be normally morning, afternoon. So then you've got no games to play with guys between 20 and 28 with nothing to do at night, which they worry about. Hopefully they stay diligent and do the right thing. But for the coaching staff and the trainers, your strength guys, unique situation, but they're up to the task. Hopefully the players will be the same.
Jim, as we know, the last time that baseball did not play during its normal season, there was a strike and the minor leagues kept going. This is kind of unique in that those minor league guys really are missing out on development, and there's only a handful that are getting that unique chance to be at Lake County.
Well, that's the big thing. We talked about Tristan McKenzie. I'll save what Tony said so you hear the conversation, but Tristan's a guy who hasn't really pitched in a game since 2018, needed this season desperately. And you wonder how many guys get set back, maybe their careers end because of this virus.
Well, it sounds like they've got the right guy there. And Jim, you mentioned Tony Mansolino. Pretty impressive what he's been able to do, and probably a really good fit to work with those guys in a unique summer like this.
Without a doubt, he's had most of these guys either at Lake County, Lynchburg, Akron, or Columbus. So they know Tony, they know his makeup. He's a no-nonsense guy, but he's also a player's manager.
Well, we're excited to hear that conversation again, getting a little bit of a window into that alternate training site for the Indians with the summer camp. Tony Mansolino, who was managing the Akron RubberDucks just 2 years ago and has been very successful, as Jim mentioned, in the Indians organization. One of the pitchers that Mansolino managed back in 2018, Aaron Civale, also pitched with the RubberDucks in 2019 and made it up to the Cleveland Indians last year for his major league debut. He recently was named the number 4 starter for the Indians in 2020 to open this unique regular season. And he talked with the Cleveland media after his last exhibition outing in Pittsburgh on Wednesday, the 22nd, in anticipation of his first start of the season on Monday, July 27th. It will be against the Chicago White Sox in Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. The plan going in was 5 innings, around 80 pitches, and got as close to that as the plan was. So just been built up for a while. At this point, just getting out there and getting ready for the first game of the season that I'm going to be throwing. So,
because of all the time that you put in during quarantine and stuff, do you feel the same right now as you typically do a few days before the season starts?
I mean, to be honest, this buildup has been longer than I would going into a normal season. So I wouldn't say it's beginning of season, maybe a little bit further in, maybe closer to May, June feel, but definitely glad that I put that time in to get to the point where I'm at, and hope it pays off with everyone. I know everyone around me did the same. So I think we're in a really good spot as a team.
This is going to be your first opening day roster as well. What's the reaction for you?
Just trying to take it in stride. Just because it's opening day roster doesn't mean that that's guaranteed to last throughout the year. So I'm just going to go out there every fifth day and give my team the best chance to win that game. That's all I can do. So it's definitely cool, but it's not something to celebrate now. Hopefully we can celebrate something in 3.5 months.
That was Aaron Civale, the 2018-2019 Akron RubberDucks pitcher, who will be in the Cleveland Indians starting rotation to open the 2020 season. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Ambridge Hospitality, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and the Courtyard by Marriott, Akron Fairlawn, all partners in the lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. Coming up later in the show, we'll talk with Roy Jacobs of the Akron RubberDucks front office about baseball camp coming to Canal Park August 3rd through the 7th. Coming up after this break, Jim Clark checks in with 2018 RubberDucks manager Tony Mansolino to talk about the Indians summer camp and alternate training site over in Lake County. That comes your way right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
This is RubberDucks broadcaster Marco LaNave. When people ask me who's the #1 pick for print and copy solutions in the Akron area, I tell them Meritech, the pride of the RubberDucks for the past 9 years. Meritech's roster also includes IT consulting, cloud voice and data services for a powerhouse lineup to reduce risk, control costs, and increase productivity. So call Team Meritech today and tell them the RubberDucks sent you. Meritech Technology to empower your business.
KeyBank makes it easy to manage your money anytime, anywhere.
I am crushed for time.
KeyBank can help.
How? And how soon?
You have a smartphone?
I have to. It keeps me organized.
Download the KeyBank mobile app and then use your phone to deposit checks on the go, transfer money, even pay bills automatically.
Awesome.
Indeed. Learn how you can make even more financial progress when you use the Red Key. Only at KeyBank. Visit key.com or your local branch. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
For a lawn that looks as good as Canal Park, depend on Grassmaster. They're a locally owned and operated full-service lawn and landscape company. The development of a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape requires a great deal of time and hard work. It's Grassmaster's commitment to providing the necessary ingredients of knowledge and treatment materials to develop a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape. By choosing Grassmaster as your lawn and landscape company, you are assuring that your investment is protected and will grow in value year after year. Visit thegrassmaster.com.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
Your business has a story to tell. Let Fast Signs Medina help you using the right mix of visual communication solutions like signs, banners, digital displays, fleet graphics, mobile marketing, health and safety communications, and so much more. Give Fast Signs Medina your business challenge and we'll come up with a plan to grow your business, reach more customers, and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Fast Signs Medina. More than fast, more than signs, more than ready to help you grow your business. Call today and say Go Ducks for your discount.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Relay home, it is not in time. Two-run double by Mejia. Akron now leads at 6-2.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Jim Clark, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is being brought to you in part by Suma Health and Hudson's Restaurant, both presenting RubberDucks baseball.
And we're talking with Tony Mansolino, the Indians' right now infield coordinator, but of course the Akron manager back in 2018. Tony, hey, thanks for taking time with us tonight.
Hey, Jim, thanks for having me. Definitely excited to get on and speak with you. I had a blast in Akron in 2018, so whenever I get to speak with somebody from the RubberDucks, it's definitely a phone call that I welcome.
Now, you managed 4 years. This year, the coordinator, all of a sudden, the virus hits. What led you to working out with the Indians and helping run things in Lake County?
Well, so I transitioned out of managing this last year to the infield coordinator job, which for me was mainly driven by my desire to get home with my kids. And I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they're at that age right now where I just need to be home if I can. I love the managing. I don't know if I'm going to find a better job than that in minor league baseball, but definitely made sense to kind of back off and get home. So, I guess the irony to COVID hitting and spring training was it sent me home even more. I got home. I was home for, I think 4 months or so before this popped up. I'm not so sure I wanted to be home that much, to be honest with you. It was kind of strange. I've never been home that long. So I'm sure my wife was pulling her hair out, dealing with me every day. And, I think my kids probably thought I had too many roles, I'd imagine. But, once the time came, this popped up, I got a phone call from Carter Hawkins, our assistant GM, and, they were very, very sensitive to the family part of this. He was very concerned about asking me if I wanted to do this, just because of the idea of, when you got a wife and kids, leaving and kind of going into a scenario where you're potentially going to get exposed to COVID. They didn't want to tell me I had to do it. It was more of a conversation and making sure I was comfortable with it. But, at that time, especially, I think probably the way everybody feels, right now is, if a good opportunity for work pops up and with how things are right now, we have to jump on it, So, he offered the opportunity. I thought it was a great opportunity to be here with the organization during a very important time for the Cleveland Indians and, all their 29 teams. And, fortunate that, this opportunity did pop up.
How many coaches are with you there at Lake County?
Uniformed coaches, I want to say, so there's 2 hitting coaches, there's 2 infield coaches, there are 2 pitching coaches, and then there's 1 outfield base running coach, and then we have 2 strength coaches, 2 trainers, and 2 analytics staff members.
What's a typical day? Is it like spring training in Arizona? Does it differ? What's kind of the daily routine for you guys right now?
Well, the numbers are small. So prior to the send-downs, kind of starting to trickle down a couple of days ago, I think we had 16 players. We were running 2 sessions, one from 9 to 12 in the morning and then from 2 to 5. And the reason why we're doing that is, one, first and foremost, we're trying to individualize work. We believe, and I think I'm comfortable saying we know that players get better when it's, one coach to one player. So any type of individualized environment's really good for our players. But, probably the overarching reason why we have spread it out throughout the day is there's a lot of protocol. I think we take the mentality that it's likely that somebody will get COVID and bring it in the clubhouse. And when that happens, how do we stop it from spreading from player to player, from staff member to player, and so on? So by spreading players throughout the day, it limits interaction amongst all the staff and players. And hopefully, if and when the COVID comes into the clubhouse, we're able to, contain it to just that one person that brought it in.
How's your housing situation and transportation situation?
Housing's good. Came down here. I picked up an apartment, and then obviously rented a car. The Indians, with our staff members, that's kind of a standard deal. They help us out with all that. So, we only had a few days to find housing and find a car. So we're able to do that, and all the staff members and the players have been staying downtown in the hotel. They're getting ready to move out to their own places. So it's challenging. There's a lot of challenges, on top of playing baseball during COVID, in order to get this thing going. And, credit to the Cleveland Indians, for them to get 2 sites running, Progressive and then obviously Lake County, as efficiently as they have in such a short period of time, has really been remarkable.
Now, how will the routine change when they begin to play for real for you guys on Friday?
So the send-downs have already started, so we got a few guys in. Logan Allen's been in for a couple days. It looks like Daniel Johnson showed up, Scott Moss showed up, so they're coming, and there's going to be more, unfortunately. But what's going to happen in our schedule change since we have more numbers, and what's going to happen for us is we're now going to be able to have our own inter squads and own live pitcher-batter interactions. So our schedule will move up a little bit in the morning, and then we'll be playing basically our own simulated games at Classic Park in the afternoon. So our days will probably get a little bit longer, but I think that's probably a good thing right now. I think being at the field and being able to be at the field and being there all day, is certainly a positive.
You had some high-profile names for the Indian minor leaguers. I'm starting with the pitching. You already mentioned Scott Moss and Logan Allen, but you also have Sam Hentges, Tristan McKenzie. How do you get McKenzie back in some kind of a groove after he's been out for such a long time? And we had him with your final year in Akron.
Yeah, I was giving Tristan a hard time yesterday. I was telling him that had him and Civale stayed healthy at the end of 18, I feel like we would have possibly beat New Hampshire in the finals. I think the fact that we were as competitive as we were through those playoffs without basically our 2 best pitchers at that time, it was a credit to the rest of that group. But Tristan looks good. He's been healthy for a while now. Had this season, had COVID not hit, he would have broke camp with the team, I'd imagine. And there's probably a pretty good chance he'd be in the big leagues right now at this point, to be honest with you. But he looks good. He's added a little slider to his repertoire. That is a new pitch for him to go on with his breaking ball and his changeup. He's ready to go. He looks a little more physical than last time we probably saw him on a field in a RubberDuck uniform. He's matured a ton. Man, the future is so bright for this kid. We're really excited about him and where he's at right now.
We had him on an earlier show. He was a treat to talk to, and boy, he's got a great future ahead of him. Now, we're hearing great things about Allen and Moss. We've seen them last year. 2 high-profile guys right now.
Yeah, they came to Columbus last year with the Bauer trade. Logan had already been in the big leagues with San Diego at that point. We saw Logan in 2016 when we were in Lake County. He was with Fort Wayne. He was really good then, so when we got him last year, we weren't real surprised. We knew he was really good. He's made some changes, I believe, mechanically since being in the organization. The future is going to be really bright for him. He's already a major pitcher, and I think as he gains a little more consistency in what he's doing now, we won't see him back at Site 2 or any other Cleveland minor league affiliate anytime soon. Scott Moss is really good. It's not a big name, I guess, in probably the baseball prospect world, but this guy's really good. He's got a really good changeup. He gets a lot of swing and miss on his fastball. He's about as competitive as can be. He's left-handed, which, for me, Cleveland Indians, pitching prospects, we needed some left-handed starters, throughout our system to kind of complement all the right-handed ones that we have. So, both him and Logan fit that bill, but 2 really good pickups, with that trade last year, and 2 guys that have very bright stars for the Cleveland Indians.
How's Sam Hentges progressing?
He looks good. I've seen him a little bit. I haven't seen him a ton. He's confident. He looks good. He's throwing really hard. Talking with the pitching coaches, it sounds like his velocity's really ticked up, which, when you're dang near 6'10" and you're already throwing hard, you can imagine the effect of, what added velocity is going to do for you. Just knowing Sam a little bit, I think the biggest thing is just continuing to polish his command. As long as he commands that fastball, he's going to have a really, really long career in this game. But he's doing great, along with all those other guys.
Some other former RubberDucks who are there with you as well. Cam Hill's drawing great reviews from Tito.
Yeah, I love Cam, man. We had him all last year in Columbus. He was a treat. You know, we got him, and he was, I think, less than 1 year out of Tommy John, which was really fast. And he showed up day one and was throwing 95, 96 with a hammer. I think at the end of the year he got beat up a little bit, but, you know, the obvious reason why is he was, I think, 14 or 15 months out of Tommy John, and he'd thrown quite a few innings, so he was tired. So to see him go into Progressive and Major League Camp and open their eyes is not real surprising for the people that saw him last year. He just needed to rest and kind of get a chance to kind of regain all the strength that he lost going through his recovery, his rehab, and then obviously the initial innings he pitched last year. But Cam's going to have a nice little career as long as he stays healthy.
And also Nick Sandlin there, and as well as Kyle Nelson. Yeah,
two other good ones. Sandy's also healthy. He went through a little bit of an injury last year, missed part of the year. So it looks like he's full go again. We're excited to, you know, see the kid that we drafted a couple years ago, I think in the second round. You know, where all reports were that this guy was going to fly to the big leagues. So no reason not to think that's not going to happen now that he's healthy. And then Kyle Nelson, man, I mean, when he showed up to Columbus last year, I remember everybody talking about how good this guy was. You know, I remember the first time he walked in the office, and you know, he's not a real big guy. You know, he's maybe 5'11", and I might be selling him short a tick, but you know, he's not a real physical guy. He's not real big. He's super quiet. He's super serious. You know, my initial reaction was, yeah, I don't know about this one. And then, you know, it just took one outing, you know, and you saw the competitiveness in this kid. You know, the fact that this guy is not scared of a thing. You saw the slider. You saw the swing miss on the fastball too. He pitched some really big moments for the Clippers last year when we were on our way to winning the Governor's Cup. But he's another one. I mean, this guy, he's going to have a heck of a career as a left-handed reliever in the major leagues.
We enjoyed him at Akron last year as well. And now your outfield situation in Cleveland, you know, it just seems so up in the air right now. You know, I'm not sure who you're going to get. I'm sure you don't know who you're going to get. You could get Daniel Johnson. I'm sure you'll get Valera, but there's the Shields, who's still out right now. But you got Allen, Zimmer. Who knows where it's going to go?
Sure. You know, there's a lot of competition up there. I talked to one of their coaches, their outfield coach, Kyle Hudson, there today, and he just raved about how they were all working and how they're all competing. And, you know, I'm not so sure we wouldn't have expected anything less. You know, that's a very competitive group of players. Daniel Johnson was actually optioned down, I think today. So he worked out today at Site 2. You know, and I don't think that's an indictment on how he played up there. It's just more of, like you said, there are so many options, and there's guys that are established a little bit in the major leagues. So he's kind of working against that now, but you know, there's no doubt his time will come sooner than later. But yeah, I'm a fan as well, you know, so I'm sitting here and I'm watching, and I'm curious as to see who's going to, you know, be the 4 or 5 outfielders that start on that opening day roster.
That was Tony Mansolino, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Pellegrino Music Center and Your Pizza Shop, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. More with Tony Mansolino right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy. This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Here's the relay. The throw home will not be made. That's an inside the park home run.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Jim Clark, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Visit Jacksonville and Chick-fil-A, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. Now more with Tony Mansolino.
Now to your group, the infielders. You know, I think Chang may be with the Indians, but then again, the same situation there as far as those 2 backup infielders. But Chang's had a great camp thus far. But you also got Bobby Bradley, Arroyo, Ernie Clement, Tyler Freeman, now Jake Elmore. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's some stiff competition there. Bobby's down here with us. He's doing great. He had a nice little year last year in Columbus. Obviously went up to the major leagues and struggled for a little bit. Came back down, shook off the rust a little bit and kind of got back to his old self. And I think we saw that in spring training, or spring training part 1 in Arizona. He had a heck of a camp in spring. So, we're excited about Bobby. Yu Chang's done incredible work here in the big leagues. It looks like the home runs he's hit, all reports are that they were not cheap home runs, that they were just absolutely hammered. So I know that Yu has made some physical adjustments with his swing over the last 6 to 8 months. So when you see a guy that has made adjustments and then does what he does the damage that he does, it's a lot easier to trust it. It's a lot easier to think that it's not by chance, that there's a real tangible reason why he's doing the damage that he's doing. So whatever happens with those guys in that roster, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough from that major league group to make those decisions. Down at Site 2 in Lake County, we'll be ready for whoever comes down, and we'll be ready to help those guys stay ready to help Tito and his crew if and when they need them.
How do you help guys who feel, gosh, I should be in Cleveland? What do you say to them?
That's a tough one. That's been a conversation here. In my experience last year, when a guy gets sent down to Columbus, they have a game they got to play at night, during a regular season. So there's frustration, there's emotions, there's a lot involved into that. Eventually what happens is they got to strap it on and play at night. And if they don't get themselves ready to play, it does not matter how good they are, the game will embarrass them. If they're not 100% mentally engaged, the game will beat them up. And that in and of itself snaps them out of it and gets them engaged in Columbus. Coming down to Site 2, there's no game at night. So, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned with some of the mentalities coming down, and understandably. We're just going to have to find a way to keep this thing engaging, keep this thing challenging, keep this thing different day to day, so we can help those guys that are true depth pieces for our major league team stay ready.
Well, you're right. The quarantine thing, no games at night, you got young guys. That's going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think most of our young guys right now, that they understand that they're here to develop. They're not necessarily major league depth at this moment. So a lot of these guys are diving head first on development and getting better and changing some movement patterns and changing some mechanics. I think being home for 3 or 4 months is giving a lot of our players, including the younger ones who might not have, the time in our world to mature like some of the older ones do. But those 3 or 4 months have sped up some of their maturity, to where they can really appreciate being here, whether they're playing at night with people in the stands or not.
Well, you've done a great job with this. It's got to be so difficult. Your managerial career, you come out of the Pirate chain, a 26th round pick, which, by gosh, we may not see those again ever. I hope that goes back to a bigger draft at some point. But, you're 2005 with the Pirates, 6 years in the organization. You're on the Indians in 2011, 1 year at Akron, 2015 as a coach, and then you become a manager at Lake County. Well, your records in 4 years, 72-68, 87-52 at Lynchburg, 78-62 at Akron, 81-59 in Columbus, 3 divisional championships, 2 league championships. People think, this guy should be managing.
Hey, sign me up. I'd love to. Yeah, it's good. I think I hit the Indians organization at a good time. We got some good players. And we have good players because we have good scouts. And we also have good players because we got good coaches throughout the organization that continue to develop these guys. So, I think as much as anything, I was able to tap into all the resources around me, and understand and kind of see the big picture, as to how to help our players get better, and then also help them play better at night. So I think just being able to kind of step outside a little bit and see the clear picture of what development truly is probably helped me. That probably comes from growing up in the game my whole life and, having my dad as a resource and then the great coaches at the Indians as a resource. So I certainly appreciate the timing of managing 4 years in the Cleveland Indians organization. I love the job. The years managing, the last 4 years managing, or might go down as my favorite 4 years coaching in baseball. depending on what I end up doing down the road. And had I not, been married and had kids and whatnot, my goodness, I'd have loved to stay managing as long as they would have let me.
Well, the levels are so different. Lynchburg to Akron, and then AA to AAA. I think AAA is, the toughest to manage. It doesn't matter who you are. It's the toughest level to manage in the minor leagues.
No doubt. And I'll tell you, the same guy that told me that was Tito. I got to spend some time with him before the start of 19, and he said the same thing, that it might be harder in some ways than the job that he's doing. I'm not so sure I believe that. And I think that just comes from, that's probably the only place where players are not happy to be where they're at. Every other level, players in general are happy to be where they're at. When they get to AAA, they're just not happy. The guys that are coming down, the veteran players, they'd much rather be in the big leagues. When guys first get there, I guess they're happy to a certain degree, but they can smell the major leagues. They can smell Progressive Field. They're so close that, within, if they have 1 week where they play well, they feel like they're ready to perform in the major leagues. So, you're just, at that level, you're just constantly trying to communicate. You're constantly trying to motivate. You're constantly trying to help guys get better and not just stay ready. I think they're probably two completely different things, but I love that challenge. I love communicating with our players. I love talking to them. Certainly a great place. Akron, very different level. Akron, being in AA might actually be the best minor league managing job when it comes to the development piece, and then also having good players. Because I think those are your best players in all the minor leagues that are still looking to develop. So as a coach, you're constantly looking to develop and help players get better. When you get to AAA, a lot of players don't necessarily feel like they need to get better. They just feel like they need to stay ready, which is not the case. So that's a little bit of a battle there. But, that AA level, that's a great level to work at. I really, really enjoyed my time when I was doing it.
And you had some players with the RubberDucks in 18.
Yeah, we were good. We had a shot. I think we ran that thing. We went into Altoona and beat Altoona in the playoffs. I'm not so sure we were supposed to beat them at that point, minus Civale and McKenzie. But our guys, they played really well. We had Donaldson for a few games, and he had a big home run. Nelson Rodriguez hit a big home run in one of those games. But, yeah, throughout that season, we saw a lot of good players come and go. That was a heck of a year.
What you like to see is when you lose Chang, here comes Clement and just takes off and fits right in.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job last year when he got there. We played him at second base. I was ready for Ernie all year. I saw Ernie in 18, so I knew what type of player he was. And as soon as the organization said that, he was ready to go to AAA, you weren't going to get any complaints from me. So we plugged him right into second base, put the ball in play like he does. He played absolutely lights out defense in the playoffs. He made one particular play. I think he, from second base, backhanded a ball up the middle, flipped it behind his back in a big spot. I think there were 2 outs, maybe first and third, big runner on third, 1-run game, and he got that thing turned or got it started, and the shortstop finished it off. But, man, he's a good player. He's here right now. He's doing great. He's working his tail off, and he's got an incredible mindset about being here right now.
Well, Tony, thanks for taking the time. I'm sure happy you're with them in Lake County. You're a great guy for these young players to have with them. And, you deal with the veterans at AAA. Now you're back with the mix again. But, as always, you'll do a great job, Tony.
Hey, Jim, I appreciate it.
That was Tony Mansolino, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Papa John's and High Voltage Karting, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. Up next, Marco LaNave talks with Roy Jacobs from the Akron RubberDucks front office about the upcoming baseball camp at Canal Park. And that comes your way right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
There aren't many things in life that are easy. There's easy listening music, easy chairs, easy money. But did you know that you can enjoy all three while getting rid of your old energy-wasting refrigerator? You can schedule a pickup without moving from your easy chair. We'll haul it away and even pay you for it. So go ahead, take it easy, and let us take it from here. First Energy's Ohio Utilities will pick up your fridge and you'll get $50. Just visit EnergySaveOhio.com to schedule a pickup. Now that's easy.
What's better than a good steak? A great steak at a great value in a fun place. Texas Roadhouse. From fall off the bone ribs to made from scratch sides, we've got something for everybody. Great steak at a great value. Texas Roadhouse. Located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive in Stowe, and now offering drive-through, carry-out, and curbside service. Visit TexasRoadhouse.alohaorderonline.com or call 330-920-9844.
Bridgestone Drive Guard tires deliver a clutch performance that won't leave you stranded on the side of a rural road or a busy highway. They're engineered to take a puncture and to keep running up to 50 miles after a flat at 50 miles an hour. Plus, you'll get the smooth, quiet ride and impressive tread wear life you've come to expect from Bridgestone tires. Let the clutch performance of Bridgestone Drive Guard tires give you peace of mind. Bridgestone, proud sponsor of the Akron RubberDucks.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
No savvy traveler likes long lines or waiting around. So, lucky for you, the Akron-Canton Airport is easy and fast. With affordable on-site parking, quick check-in, and short security lines, you'll be through the airport in just minutes. CAK gives you more freedom to enjoy the things you love, like vacationing. With low fares to 11 nonstop destinations and just one stop to the world, book your next adventure from CAK.
RubberDucks fans, check out City Barbecue in Fairlawn for the best barbecue in town.
I gotta tell you, City Barbecue is the best smoked meats I've ever experienced in my life.
Literally the best beef brisket sandwich I've ever had.
Definitely the best barbecue I've ever had.
My best all-around barbecue experience ever.
Best barbecue around.
Some of the best barbecue I've personally tasted.
I highly recommend this spot for some of the best BBQ you'll ever have.
Visit citybarbecue.com or stop by 2870 West Market Street in Fairlawn.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Precious Cargo Trailways and Luigi's, both partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. We're pleased to be joined by Roy Jacobs. He is the Senior Manager of Amateur Baseball Development and Group Sales and Service for the Akron RubberDucks. He's also the Director of the RubberDucks Baseball Camp, and the RubberDucks had a baseball camp in July. They have another one coming up August 3rd through the 7th. So to talk about that, we welcome on Roy, and it's good to be talking with you. Thanks for joining us.
Marco, thank you. Thank you again for having me, and we're looking forward to another youth baseball camp out here at Canal Park.
And Roy, the details, again, Monday, August 3rd through Friday, August 7th. What are the details that people need to know about this camp?
Yeah, so baseball camp, it runs pretty smooth. For everything that we're going through, we do our best to make sure everything is by protocol and all that. We have a rival between 8:30 and 9. Once 9 hits, very shortly after that, we'll start bringing the groups down on the field. A lot of things are slower with COVID, making sure we're keeping every safety procedure at hand. And it takes a minute to get them on the field, but We do a nice baseball camp from 9 to about 11:45, 11:30-ish. And then after that, we start to bring them back up to their seats, pickups between 12 and 12:30.
So you mentioned keeping folks safe. What are some of the measures that people should expect and that the kids will notice when they come to Canal Park, and just to keep everybody safe and healthy?
Good question. We actually have everyone arrive with masks on. We do take temperatures after check-in. The participant in camp and whoever's dropping him off and anyone that's in the party. We have our groups pretty much spread out throughout the concourse to make sure that we're keeping social distancing to its finest.
What are kids going to learn in baseball camp?
We will be going through a series of, it's a 5-day camp. So in the 5 days, they will have offensive days twice, and they'll have defensive days twice, and then a mixture, kind of like a fun day on Friday. Get some testing in there. We'll get some speeds off their bat with the exit velo. We'll get some pitching speeds. We'll get their base running speeds. It's an idea to show them where they're at the end of camp.
And for these kids, maybe some of them have not had any summer ball or that sort of thing. Why is it important for them to do a baseball camp this summer?
Actually, that weighed on me a lot. I looked back at the area, all the different counties and all the baseball seasons I saw that was canceled. It bothered me. And I wanted to make sure we gave every opportunity to the youngsters to get out here and continue to learn the game that I have fallen in love with for so many years of my life. We wanted to give them something that they could enjoy baseball. It might be only a week long, but I promise we will do our best to make sure they're happy, learning, and safe at the same time.
And what age group can participate in camp?
Camp is 5 to 12-year-olds. So with that being said, our 5-year-olds, 5, 6, 7, 8s, we're pretty much just giving them the easy fundamentals of baseball. 9 through 12, we enhance it a little bit and teach them a little bit more in depth. But again, it's out here to learn and to have fun and be safe at the same time.
And who is it that will be teaching the kids throughout the week?
Good question. We don't have the players like we've had in the past, but I handpicked some local high school talent of coaches. Anderson from Lake, Pecknick from Hoban. A slew of coaches will be in. I'll also have some college players themselves coming out to help out with camp. A lot of good instruction. We'll have a series of different people in and out, but we'll have our slew of coaches during the week.
And Roy, there was already one week-long baseball camp in early July. How did that go in sort of the new format?
It went smooth. Actually, the emails that we received afterwards were phenomenal. I'm very grateful for everyone's just their words of encouragement, the words of praise for the way that campers ran, for how much fun their kid had and how safe it was. So it has been a blessing,
And for kids that are thinking about coming to camp and maybe parents or guardians that are thinking about having their kids come to camp, what will they need to bring for their own use during camp?
Since we broke the camp into specific days of offensive and defensive, Monday and Wednesday will be offensive days. So all they would need is a bat, a helmet, and some batting gloves. And then on defensive days, which is Tuesday and Thursday, they would just need their glove. Other than that, Friday is kind of a mixture day, so they wouldn't need their bag. But we try to keep the least amount of equipment on the kids at all times. But that Friday we do a bunch of different things. So they're going to probably need their bat, gloves, and everything involved.
And Roy, how is it that kids and their families can feel comfortable about coming to baseball camp? If just from a baseball perspective, they may feel like they're not all that experienced, or maybe they don't think they're that talented, but how do you make sure that they're going to be able to learn something?
So we break the groups up by age. So our youngins are in one group, and then we go gradually up from there. So ideally, we know that the kids that are 5 and 6 haven't really played competitive baseball probably ever, maybe a little t-ball here and there. So we work with them on the very low level, just to make sure they're understanding the right fundamentals of fielding a ground ball, or the correct way to stand in the box, how to hold their hands and to swing the bat. As we go up, then we get a little bit more intense with the instruction and everything, but we make sure every kid is comfortable with what we have to offer to learn.
Roy, how much does this cost, and how much do you have available?
Actually, I have 50 slots available. I'm currently selling now, so I have about 30 some left. But ideally, it's $40 a day for 5 days, $200 total, which also includes 2 vouchers to a 2021 RubberDucks game, and they get a camp T-shirt at the end of camp.
And Roy, the very important question, how do they go about signing up?
Well, they got to contact me directly. They are more than welcome to call me on my direct line, 330-375-1706, or they're more than welcome to email me at rjacobs, that's RJACOBS, at akronrubberducks.com.
Well, Roy, it was a treat to watch you operate a great baseball camp in July, and we're looking forward to it as well in August. Thanks for all you're doing for the kids to enjoy baseball camp, and thanks for joining us on At Home with the RubberDucks.
Thank you, Marco. And Marco, I just want to say, the first baseball camp, seeing you out there on the field, that was impressive too. So I can't wait to see it again this camp coming up.
Well, I feel like one of those 12-year-olds too, so it's a lot of fun.
I love it.
All right, that's Roy Jacobs. He is the Senior Manager of Amateur Baseball Development and Group Sales and Service for the Akron RubberDucks. He's the do-it-all man at Canal Park. Give him a call, 330-375-1706, or email rjacobs@akronrubberducks.com. You can go to akronrubberducks.com and see more information about baseball camp. We also want to thank Cleveland Indians infield coordinator Tony Mansolino for sharing with Jim Clark about Cleveland Indians summer camp at the alternate site in Lake County. And we thank you for listening. Tune in again next Sunday at 6 o'clock for another episode of At Home with the RubberDucks. For Jim Clark, I'm Marco LaNave. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.
Thanks for listening to At Home with the RubberDucks. To listen to previous shows or for more RubberDucks baseball, follow the Akron RubberDucks podcast on the iHeartRadio app. For the latest on the team, go to akronrubberducks.com and follow the Akron RubberDucks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Akron RubberDucks Baseball. Affordable family fun.